Okay, so what we're going to do now is make sure that all the mechanical bones are locked on their location, rotation, and scale values. So go ahead and switch to the Data tab and make sure that only this layer is selected. Go ahead and select on the head bone and make sure that everything is locked over here. Let's go ahead and click on this bone and just lock everything. Go ahead and click on this bone. This is locked. Let's click on this bone over here. Make sure that this is locked. Let's click on this. This is locked. This is locked. And this is locked. And these two bones over here are also going to be locked. Right? Because mechanical bones are driven by parent-child relationships. So we do not want the user to be touching these bones. Now let's take a look at the head.touch. Now over here, we only want the user to rotate this bone, so we're going to lock the location in scale and do the same thing for the neck.touch. Go ahead and lock the location in scale. Now the next thing that you want to do is go ahead and switch to the bone tab and make sure that this is unchecked for all the bones, because this is very easy to miss. So here I'm just going to go ahead and click on each bone and just stare over here to make sure that this is unchecked for every bone. Okay, so this is all set up. So what I want you to do is go under File, do Save As, and we're going to save this as a rigging lesson 3D.blend. Okay, so to finish up this head and neck module, what we're going to do is simply give the head.touch and the neck.touch custom bone shapes. Now the reason you want to do this is because you really don't want the user to select on these two bones on the back of the neck. It's not intuitive. So by using custom bone shapes, you can actually place them at the right place. For example, we can create a circle that appears on the head and a circle that appears on the neck. So if you click on the head circle, you're really going to be rotating on the head.touch, and if you click on the circle that appears on the neck, you're going to be really rotating the neck.touch. So let's go ahead and set this up. So first you want to click on the head.touch and do Shift S, and you're going to do cursor to select it. Now this is an important step. Basically, when we create the custom bone shapes, the origin point needs to be where the head of this bone is. Okay, now do Shift A, and over here we're just going to add a circle. Make sure that the fill type is set to nothing. I'm just going to zoom out to show you what's going on. Okay, do the middle mouse button. So here you can see that what we've done is added an object circle. Okay, so here we're going to click on the head.touch, press the Shift key down, click on this circle, do Shift Control C, and do copy transforms. This is a really important step because we want to make sure that the circle axis is aligned to the head.touch bone. So go ahead and click on this circle, go to the constraints, and what we're going to do is actually turn this off. So we're going to do Control A and do Visual Transform and simply just turn this off. You can actually delete this later. Now press the 3 key. Okay, so now of course what we need to do is align this circle correctly, right? So we can press the Tab key to go into Edit mode and press the R key, press the Control key down and just rotate it by 90. You have to look on the header. Okay, now go ahead and left click. Now press the Tab key. So here we've got this circle correctly aligned and rotated. So of course we're going to give it a name. So now this is really just considered a bone shape, a widget. So here we're just going to type in a w.head.touch. That's what this circle is for. Okay. Now you need to go to the head.touch, go to the bone tab, and over here you're going to see that it says custom shape. So click it. Here you'll see that it's called W head.touch. Click it. So here you will see that what we're getting is that this circle is basically being scaled to how the bone appears. Notice that that bone, the head touch, is no longer showing because that bone has now become the circle. Now this can get a bit confusing when you're working with bone shape, so what Blender allows you to do is go to the data tab and actually turn this off, okay, at any time. So this is what the bone originally looks like, right? So when you turn on shapes, this is what it looks like. Press the 3 key. Now of course we don't want this circle to appear over here. We want it to appear on the m.head.flex.c. So what we can do is simply having this circle selected, this blue one over here, which is the bone, go to the bone tab, and over here it's asking you the alternate bone where you want this to appear. So go ahead and click this, and now you're going to type in m.head, and this is what we want, the flex.c, and click it. Now you will see that really what's happening here is that the bone shape is appearing where the m.head is, right? But the bone is still located here, right? We can go to the data tab and actually turn this off. See, the bone is still there, but its shape is appearing over here. So now when you press the R key, you will see that it still works the same way. So what we want to do is move this shape. So how do we do this? So the way this is going to be done is that you actually have to select this object itself. Now the thing to understand about this is that in object mode, when you press the S key, you can actually scale this circle down, okay? But when you press the tab key to go into edit mode and press the S key, it will also affect the bone shape itself. So what I want you to do is press the 3 key and press the tab key to make sure that you are in object mode on the circle, and just press the S key to scale it down a bit over here first, okay, so you can see what's going on. Now the way this is going to work is basically because the origin point for the circle is at the head.touch, right now this is appearing over here, right? It's basically a reflection of it, okay? So the way to do this is that you have to click on this one, do Shift S, and do cursor to select it, then click on this, okay? Now here we're going to do Shift S and do selection to cursor. We're going to move it over here, okay? Now here I want you to press the R key and go ahead and just rotate this, okay? Now you're going to kind of have to align it like this, okay? Now go ahead and do the middle mouse button so you can see what's going on. Now in object mode, you can press the S key and just bring it a little closer. Don't bring it exactly to it. It makes it difficult to select it a little later. Just make it a little bigger like this, okay? So this is where this is. Now press the 3 key, okay? Now notice that over here, when we press the tab key to go into edit mode on this circle, we can click on this blue arrow and move this over here. So when we move this over here, the bone shape itself is going to move, right? Because it's seeing that the origin point is over here, right? Really, the way this is working, the origin point is really still over here, right? That's all we're doing. So that's really it. Now when you press the tab key to go back into object mode, press the 3 key. Here you can select this, right? So now you can press the R key. So you can see that here we're just moving the head. So that's how this concept works. So you can actually do the middle mouse button and just fine tune it a bit. You have to press the tab key to go into edit mode and just position it in edit mode over here, okay? And you can actually scale this down a bit if you want to, right? So remember, only in object mode you can press the S key to scale the actual object, right? It's not going to affect the bone shape, only in edit mode that it does that. Anyways, this is how this concept works. So what we want to do is take this circle, which is the object itself, and actually throw it on this last layer. So just press the M key and put it on its last layer, because you don't really need to see it anymore, right? So this is your bone. Press the 3 key. Now since these are going to be touch bones, we can actually just put all the touch bones over here on this first layer. So having this selected, you can press the M key and go ahead and select this, okay? So now notice that when you come over here and select this, this is going to be our bone shape. Of course, you could disable the axes and names, right? Now when you press the R key here, you can see that this is a bit more intuitive, right? It gives you the ability to rotate the head. That's how that works. So here, go ahead and press the Shift key down and click on this layer again, right? So again, remember you can turn off bone shapes to see where everything is. We're going to do the same thing for this bone. So first what I want you to do is go under File and go ahead and save. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the custom bone shape for the neck.touch bone. So make sure that you enable the name so you can see what the names of the bones are. And here I'm just going to enable the axis. Now go ahead and do Shift S and do cursor to selected. Do Shift A and add a circle. Go ahead and just zoom out a bit. Click on the neck.touch. Press the Shift key down. Click on this circle. Do Shift Control C and do Copy Transforms. Go ahead and click on this circle, do Control A, do Visual Transform, go to the constraints and go ahead and turn this off. Now press the Tab key, press the R key, press the Control key, and go ahead and rotate this circle by 90 degrees. Now press the Tab key to go into Object Mode, and here we're just going to press the S key to scale this down a bit. And here, what I'd like to do is actually make sure that the X-ray is enabled on the circle object. We can do that too for the other circle that we had added. So we'll take care of that later. So what we want to do now is go ahead and name this. Just type in W dot neck dot touch, enter. Click on the neck dot touch, go to the bone tab, and over here we're going to select neck dot touch over here for the shape, and of course we want that shape to appear on the m.neck.flex.c. So here we're just going to click this and type in m.neck.flex.c. That's where it's going to appear. Now over here we're going to click on this neck.flex.c, do Shift S, do cursor to selected, right? And over here we're going to click on our circle which we just added, and of course it's actually right at the same exact place anyways, but you can do Shift S and just do selection to cursor. Okay, now here we're just going to press the R key and go ahead and match it with this. Now do the middle mouse button to rotate. Again, in object mode you want to press the S key and bring it a bit closer over here. Now press the Tab key to go into edit mode, press the 3 key, press the G key and just put it just the way you want to. You can press the R key to rotate it a bit. Okay, now press the S key to just scale it in. It doesn't have to be that big. Just going to align it just the way I like it. Now I'm going to press the Tab key and just see that everything is working correctly. Go ahead and make sure that you select on the object, which is the circle, press the M key and throw it on this layer. Now go ahead and click on this layer over here only. Here, go ahead and click this, and it's a good idea to just at least enable the X-ray on this too. Now we can go ahead and click back on this layer to bring the figure back. Now when you click over here, you're really just selecting the neck.touch, right? So now when you press the R key, it will move. So having this selected, you're going to press the M key and of course put it on this layer, right? So now when we go to the data tab and just click over here, what we have are two bones, the head and the neck. Okay, now when you click over here on this bone, you can see that we still have access to head.follow, right? You can turn this on or off and on or off. Now right now we don't have access to the chest model, but here we can just press the Shift key down and just enable the deform bones, and over here you can just go ahead and click this, do the middle mouse button and press the R key to rotate. So you see that the head is staying perfectly still. You can click over here and turn this on. Go ahead and click on this bone, press the R key. You can see that it works just fine, right? And press the 3 key. Over here, when we press the R key, it's just going to rotate like this. And if we turn this on, neck follow head, press the R key, it'll still work. Okay. Now again, you can just press the A key to select everything and do Alt R to reset the rotation, right? So this is really the layer that the user is going to be working with. Okay, so here you can see that because we've locked the location and rotation, all the user is really allowed to do is rotate this bound, right? Same thing for this bound. Okay, so that's that. So here what we're going to do is press the shift key down and go ahead and turn back this module. Go ahead and place this like this, and this officially completes the head and neck rig. So go ahead and just do File, and here we're just going to go ahead and now save. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.